Welcome to BookSight, a weekly podcast dedicated to accounting, bookkeeping, and small business tasks. Here's your host, Taylor Arndt.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to BookSight Podcast, Episode 5, and this is a bonus special episode. So we're going to be doing an interview, and we're going to be talking to my grandmother, Mary Arndt, who runs a business, and she's really one of the people in my family who's really motivated me to be on this entrepreneur track. So can you tell me a little bit about yourself? Just introduce yourself to my listeners.
I am from Michigan. I'm 73 years old. We have 2 sons, 8 grandchildren, and 11 great-grandchildren. And this was started out as a hobby, and it grew to my business. And along with help from my husband, we started and enjoyed the fun and part-time job. And then I went to full-time. And I like my own schedule. I can go on vacation when I want. I can work when I want. Depends on if I want to make money or not.
Right. Yeah, that's always very important being self-employed, is that you can make your own schedule. You have your own freedom, but with your own freedom comes your own responsibility. You are the one that has to make sure that you're making the money because you don't have employer-paid PTO and all that kind of benefits. So that's very important to understand that with a full-time job comes some benefits, but also being an entrepreneur, you have a lot more where you can take vacations when you want. And you kind of wanted that travel flexibility, right?
Right.
I just kind of want to ask you about how you got started and why you decided to start a business.
I got started when a friend of mine gave me a sample of the Alouette products, and I liked it so well, I contacted her that I wanted to know more about it. And we got together, and after she talked, we decided that I was going to start my own Alouette business.
Can you explain to my listeners what Alouette is? Because a lot of them probably don't know.
Alouette is a skincare, and we also have a makeup line, but it is organic. It's not tested on animals. The aloe vera is the main ingredient in a lot of our products of the skincare line. And there's just so many benefits, and there's no parabens in it. And it is a great product for all types of skin, men and women.
Yeah, that's really nice. And it's really nice that you learned about it from a friend, and that's kind of how things start happening, right? Because I learned about how to do bookkeeping from different people that I met, and then it just kind of exploded from there. So it's really great that your friend kind of introduced you to the world of Alouette. Now, can you tell me about some of the most successful moments in your business?
Oh, there are so many. I was promoted to manager after I got some consultants underneath me. And there are so many benefits. There's free gifts. There's trips that you earned. I've been to so many places. Alaska, Italy, Curacao, and many cruises, and just so many benefits that they offer to us through the company.
That's really important. Having a great company that you believe in is definitely a really great and really essential thing, in my opinion, because if you don't believe in the product, then why are you doing it? So I'm very happy that you believe in the product and that they give you so many free benefits, because that's awesome. Not all companies do that. Now, have you always done your own business, or have you ever worked for someone else?
I was a tour guide for 23 years, and I started Alouette as I was a tour guide, and I enjoyed sharing the Alouette opportunity with so many people and sharing the product and passing on the product to as many people as I could.
That's awesome. That's really great. It seems like you love to travel.
Yes, I do. I love to travel.
Yeah, because like right now, y'all, we are in a room. We're at the Valentine Lakeside Resort in Kingsland, Texas. And I'm here for the Christmas holiday. And so it's really awesome that I'm able to ask these questions and to, travel. We're talking about different things. And that's the kind of the beauty of this, right? You get to go wherever you want because you're not held down by an employer.
Correct.
And that's super important. So we talked about the successes, but have there been any challenges about your business? What's been kind of the most challenging aspect?
Now, that's a hard question. I guess the biggest challenge, like a lot of people, the biggest challenge was during COVID time.
Yeah.
I was still able to do my business. That's one of the benefits. Stay at home, contact people, and continue your business even though you can't have your individual parties and gatherings.
How did COVID affect Alouette and your business?
People were a little leery about purchasing things. They didn't know what was going to happen with everything that was going on in the country. So they was cutting back on their orders.
Okay. So what did you do to circumvent that challenge?
I researched for new people. I put on Facebook, promoting the product and doing specials and my special virtual open house and sales without having an open house.
Yeah, because I know the open house historically for you has been a really great sales driver. And can you explain to my listeners what your open houses look like?
My open houses were usually a couple days in November, and I had lots of super sales, and lots of times it was the buy one, get one free sale. So that was the time that they could come and get extra specials that were at the open house. But if they were not able to attend, I took phone calls and they emailed me their orders, and I could ship them out of state to them.
And that's the thing, is that just because she's in Michigan does not mean that she can't ship products to you, right?
Correct. I have customers in several states.
Yeah. So that, don't make that a discouraging factor if you really want to check out the products. I just wanted to kind of throw that out there. And, how have you marketed your business?
I have marketed it through Facebook, and I have a special VIP page to customers that can get extra specials. But I send out emails, and a lot of it is done on Facebook, the media part.
Yeah, it seems like these days Facebook is a really great way to get clients. I know that for me, with my business, I use Facebook all the time. I post in a lot of different groups, and that's how I have my highest paying client right now. So if you're not using Facebook for your business, you are missing out. So what other aspects about running a business did you really not expect? Is there anything that you're kind of like, oh, I got to do this now, or, any surprises?
I can't think of any really big surprise. I mean, it does take time. You have to promote it. I ask everybody, because if you don't ask, you've already got to know. But if you ask them and they say yes, it's a bonus.
Yep. Yeah, and that's the really most important thing, is that you need to be able to promote. Because, it's not just going to come overnight.
Correct.
And that's something that you're going to have to realize if you really want to start a business. So, what kind of plans do you have for the future?
I'm not quite as active as I was, but I have quite a large customer base, and I service my customers. I take new customers. In the age I am, I like to service my customers, and someday I might do a virtual Facebook party.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
But at my age and technology, I have to learn a little bit more before I do that.
Well, and that's so understandable, right? We always have to learn and evolve. And I think that's going to be the really most important thing is, also like the younger generation. A lot of them are on Facebook, but a lot of them are going to other social media platforms like TikTok and other things. So do you plan to market to the younger generation?
Yes.
And how are you doing that?
through the Facebook,
Okay.
and I might have to look into another form, or maybe TikTok to get the younger group.
TikTok would be a great option. I know a lot of people are on there. I am working on being on there, so hopefully I'll have some videos coming up. But TikTok is a great option because you could show your products and, get comments and things. I think that could be a real option. And then you can connect it to your Facebook too. So it could be a double-edged sword. But, the younger generation really prefers TikTok and like Instagram and those kind of things. I mean, a lot of us are on Facebook too, but it's always another great option. What would you say like your demographic of your customers are?
I think most of them are 40 plus. The younger age group, a lot of them like to change out their lipstick quite often, and they just want a lower price lipstick so they don't invest as much. But with Alouette, you are investing in yourself for a better look and taking care of your skin.
Yeah, so it's not just those cheap products you find in some store, right? It's very professional products, and I think that's really what differentiates you between others. Am I understanding that correctly?
You're correct.
What kind of software or like tools do you use to run your business? You have a website, right?
Right, I have a website.
Yep. And then like, how do you normally take payments from customers?
I have credit cards. I use credit cards. I use checks. I use PayPal. And I have added Venmo.
So it's very wide ranging, and that's super important because a lot of customers these days want to pay through different mediums. So it's always great to have more payment options. That really helps with sales. And, what other things? I know you use like email. So do you just have like a newsletter?
Yes. And my franchise president, she sends out weekly promotions to my customers that I have your email address for. And that comes directly from my franchise president.
Right, because you're part of a franchise, right?
Correct.
So if someone wanted to start with Alouette and they're kind of listening to this podcast and they're thinking, oh, this could be interesting, what are the steps, right? What if they want to follow your footsteps? What do you have to do?
First of all, you can get some product from me and see what it's all about. Or there are some simple little starter kits that start out. The small one is $20. And if you want a big percentage of our products, it can be as much as $300 for a kit. And you're getting between $600 and $800 worth of products.
Wow.
And as soon as you sign up, you are off making money.
Okay.
And that's how easy it is. It sounds easy, but to be too good to be true, that's the way it starts out.
Right. Right. And this is not just one of those get-rich-quick schemes, right?
Correct.
And I know a lot of these gurus on YouTube try to promote these things. This is not one of those. This is actually a legitimate business opportunity that if interested people are, wanting to do, that they can, and it's not just a spam. Because a lot of these things are spams, a lot of these things. So this is obviously legit. Because, you made your livelihood on this, so...
Yes, and I've seen many things in my travels.
Yeah, and I think that's very important. What other qualifications do they have to do in order to be a Alouette seller?
There's not really a qualification. You introduce it to your family and friends, and the product sells itself. There's no set requirement that you have to sell. But it comes easy, so it automatically, you are right in line to get promotions, and the more you sign up people, you can make more percentage. You can work up to 35% commission, and that's off the retail price. It's not often a discounted price. So it's an easy way to make money. A lot of young girls in college do it as a part-time job as they go to college.
Yeah, that's actually a really good opportunity. So if you're a part-time, college student or full-time and you want some other way to make money, consider something like this. Now, does Alouette take any, fees off of what you make, or how does that work?
No, they do not.
Okay, so if you sold me a product for $100, would you get $100? Or how much would you get of that?
35%.
35%. Okay.
If I have a sale of $100, my commission is 35%.
And then Alouette gets the rest.
Correct.
Makes sense. Yeah, and that's a pretty good rate. That's a pretty good commission. Does Alouette provide annual training and things to try to make sure that the sellers are selling, up to date?
We have a constant training on what we call our back office, and you can go into training and you can look on the computer and you can watch it over and over and over. There's training for every product to tell you everything in the product, what you would use for, and all the ingredients. And there's just so much in our back office of training for all the products.
That's really helpful, because I know that if you're a new seller, you're like, how am I going to learn about all this stuff? And I think that's super important to have annual training. Do they ever send you to conferences or anything?
Yes, there's a conference once a year. And this year it was in Nashville.
Nice. So you went to go enjoy some Nashville?
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I'm sure it moves around the country every year?
Yes.
Do they send you free, or do you have to pay for that?
You have to pay. What you pay for the registration fee, you get more than that in free product at the conference.
Oh, so you can get more free product at the conference?
Yes.
So you might pay $100 registration and get, $300 of product, for example, or...
Yes.
That's great, because that's always, what are the benefits, right? And it just seems like Alouette has a lot of great benefits. So that's super important. And then we're almost done. Is there any other things that you would like my listeners to know before we wrap up today?
Well, if they're interested in checking out, you can look at alouette.com/Mary Arndt, ARNDT. And then you can go ahead and check that out, and you can contact me if you would more information.
Yep, and I will put a link in the show notes for her website, as well as, is your Facebook page public?
Yes.
As well as her Facebook page and other social media, and that way y'all can find her and try to have her sell some more products. So, everyone, I hope that you guys have liked this episode, and Merry Christmas, everyone, and we will talk soon.
Thank you for tuning in to the BookSight podcast. You can find show notes, transcripts, and ways to support the show at BookSight.net. Let's get social. Follow us on Twitter at BookSightPod and like us on Facebook at BookSight Podcast. You can also connect with us on Mastodon at accounting.social. Our host, Taylor Arndt, is on Twitter at TayArndt, and her website is at tayfinance.com. If you enjoyed the show, please leave us a review and let us know what you thought. We'll be back next week with more tips and insights on accounting, bookkeeping, and small business tasks. This was a Payon Media production.